Go. What is up, everybody? We are back. We are back for another episode of the JNS Philly Sports Stop. I'm your host, as always, Steven Rychel. To the right of me is, as what he likes to say, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Justin Fioillio. Justin, how we feeling today, brother?
What's going on, Steve? How much snow did you get down by you?
Dude, I went out 3 times. I went out like when it started yesterday. I gave it a few hours to kind of accumulate a few inches. Then I blew that out. Then gave it like 4 or 5 more hours. It was like I think it was almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I went out, knocked out some of my neighbor because she'd said something to my brother, like, hey, like, I'll throw Steve a few dollars if he takes care. I'm like, it's Jordan ones, we got it, don't worry about it. Then I got up at like 10. I got out there at like 10:30 and then hit the last little bit of it, and it was just like. From what it looked like, I mean, it was definitely hip high in my area. So, I mean, I know in other parts, I know like somewhere in Bucks County, they got up to like 20 inches and whatnot. So, it was a decent storm.
Yeah, legend has it you heard LaShawn McCoy and Saquon Barkley doing spin moves and jukes out in the snow, running rampant through the streets of Philadelphia. I heard. Just kidding. But some great snow games right there in the Eagles' history.
That's Philadelphia right there, my friend. But as we get started on every episode, this episode is brought to you by Fight Wax. Fight Wax is the ultimate skincare defense for athletes and your active members of your household. Helps treat cuts, swelling, scrapes, and abrasions, rejuvenates and restores stressed skin. Customers have used for soreness, stiffness, and recovery, designed for active lifestyles and for your athlete. Your other key benefits are it's an ultra silky, non-greasy feel, deep hydration for everyday skincare, helps fight dry skin. Customers has used it for skin disorders such as eczema and psoriasis. But also make sure you're checking out the website that is officially launched. They got the Fight Wax soap. They got the stuff for your pets. The merch store just opened up. So guys, make sure you're heading over there and you're checking out the stuff. And then also while you're there, let's not forget to use that code South15FW when placing your order. Get 15% off all your orders on fightwax.com. They got a lot of fun stuff going on over there. And we got a lot of fun stuff that we're going to talk about here today. Like, first off, you were just talking about the Phillies. I got to throw some shade at them. How do you let Terrell Hatcher out of the building? She's been one of the bigger bright faces that we've had in the media side of things here in Philadelphia. Yeah. Everyone was sitting there as spring training was kicking off. Everyone was like, "Where's Hatcher at? Where's Hatcher at?" She actually made a post announcement the other day, as she's officially a free agent.
Yeah,
so, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
NBC Sports Philly. That's a fail, brothers. That's a fail.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see her go. She was. And I guess we just gotta look at John Kruk now as the most attractive face. I guess.
God help us. But no, I mean. You do see a lot of turnover in some of this stuff, especially on the media side of things. We see, how many times do we see guys bouncing back and forth between, WIP and 97.5. Like they bounce all over the place. It's not like it's a job that you're expected to be there, 15, 20 years or anything like that. But
correct.
Even with the sideline reporters, you don't see them typically stay too long, but it's so unfortunate of somebody who, her dad played hockey in this town towards the end of his career and basically adopted the Philadelphia area, and she dove herself into the sports media side of things. So it's unfortunate to see her go. Hopefully, she lands somewhere and actually, kind of, builds a rapport with the people in the city. It's hard to go to another place after you not just play in Philadelphia, but when you're enthralled into the sports media side of things. We even and people also like who don't remember, like Hugh Douglas, was here for a while, went down to Atlanta for 5 years, 8 years, something,
Yeah.
whatever it was, came back. Like there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like not just the sports and the fans of Philadelphia, but the sports media. It's consumed in a different way, and it's just something that something that should be easily to put a smile on people's faces. So,
yeah, well, hopefully she just brings that Philly sports charm and passion to wherever she goes next.
yeah.
And it is unfortunate to see her go, Steve. I agree, but like I said, with T Mac and Kruk, we got plenty of attractive faces to keep going.
Well, a couple things I want a couple quick little Phillies notes before we start talking some Sixers, some Eagles, things of that nature. I came across this, and I want to get your opinion because we were talking about uniforms when we were doing your program last week, right?
Yeah.
So, should the Phillies bring back the Reds, the red jerseys? We've seen the city edit. We have the grays. We have our whites. All that other stuff. But I agree with this one. We absolutely should bring the Reds back. I love the red jerseys. I love the red jerseys. They got the cream jerseys, the white jerseys, the gray jerseys. I get it. But that's the red. And I know some people are like, oh, well, that's a spring training color. No, it's not. Stop it. But what are your thoughts, man? Do you think they should bring back the red jerseys?
Absolutely, yeah. I love the red. I think when that first just popped up there, like just my first visual instinct was like, I like that. Like that's just a nice color. It's a solid look. I darn near like it the most of any of their uniform choices. I think. I mean, I really like that red. I don't know why. I remember the huge controversy, a little off subject, but when they did bring out those city uniforms, what was it, like a year or two ago? Like at first people hated them, and then they started to catch on a bit. And now it's kind of become more people like them than you think. But not for you, yeah.
Nah, but, I'd rather have the reds and the powder blues over the city designs any day.
Yeah. Well, the powder blues are they might be up there for a contender for the number one spot too. But look, I love the red, and I love when what didn't the Phillies do like a St. Patrick's one year or something like a green.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, just for a special thing.
You get these things, and fans attach themselves to it because it's not something you see it all the time. It's not something you have to wear all the time, but it's something like when you do that, you throw yourself in with the Irish fans. Then somebody who may not necessarily be a Phillies fan, but you got the Irish green jerseys. They're gonna come out and buy. Like it's a marketing, merchandising type of thing, and I think just sometimes the Phillies are tone deaf on some of this stuff. I mean, bring the Reds back, bring the red jerseys back. It's not something you have to wear consistently. Maybe you do it like some Sunday games or something like that. Like try to find a way to make things work.
Well, look at the Eagles, Steve. Look what the Eagles just did. They just brought back the Kelly Greens.
See, I don't like how the NFL holds the uniform options hostage. Baseball, you have a little bit more free will with it, but NFL has a stronghold on that, and I don't like how they go about it. I think the teams themselves should have the options to say, this is what we're wearing this week.
Correct.
So, like the fact that the season starts and like, listen, you only got 3 games that they're wearing Kelly Green, and these are the games that they're going to be wearing. I'm like, huh?
Yeah. I mean, here's my opinion.
You're telling us when we're wearing what colors?
Right. As long as it's not offensive to me, and as long as matching colors. Well, as long as it's not offensive, the uniforms, and it's not like matching colors, like you don't have 2 orange teams playing out in the field, right?
Yeah. That part I agree with.
If you got those 2 covered, I don't really care what you wear. Like, really, I really don't. In some sense, like if that's what the team or the ball club, and that goes for all 4 sports, I feel like. Honestly, to some extent.
I want to see more all black from the Eagles, but I also want to see more all green.
Yeah, that's
we haven't seen all green since like the early Andy Reid era when they were wearing all midnight green helmet, jersey, pants, the line. That was that was it. If you notice, we almost always have white pants. We almost always have white pants on.
Correct.
So,
hey, man, there's so many great Philadelphia uniforms, so many great uniforms in sports. Period. But
I mean,
red
I just
jerseys.
talk about the Reds for a minute. I mean, we're already 10 minutes in. I didn't feel like we were talking about it that long, but one of the things that we always see at the beginning of every baseball season is these silly lists come out, right?
Oh,
right, and then we basically seen Johan Duran was basically not happy with MLB Network dropping their top 10 relievers list. Yeah, and Duran found something funny. Obviously, he was left off of I think Schrader's list, his ranking list, and his simple response to it after he's seen everything on it was just the crying laughing emoji. And last season, Duran posted a 2.6 ERA with 36 saves in 2025, plus a 0 ERA in 3 playoffs games when he came in as the fourth highest relief pitcher fan vote, and he also he shared this stuff on his Instagram as well. So I think Duran has a reason to be irritated, to be upset, and
yeah, and not just that, he has like the best walkout music ever, like the best walkout song.
It literally it's up there now. It is up there. So
yeah. No, I guess that's I mean top 10. I mean I think he can make an argument. Yeah, he could probably have a little bit of a gripe with them for that.
He should be in the top 10, and it has nothing to do with us being biased. I mean, I get it. He was in Minnesota for half the season and all that. He didn't have bad numbers. That's why he got traded. That's why he got traded to Philadelphia. Correct. So well, I guess we'll see as the season progresses if Johan's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder trying to sit there and say, you're going to snub me from your top 10 list? Okay.
Yeah. We got Bryce Harper, not elite, and Johan Duran pissed off. It's going to be a perfect recipe to get bounced in the second round this year.
And that's an argument for another day. I want to kind of just let spring training progress as it normally does, and see how the season goes. Do want to get into some Sixer stuff. Obviously, since the All-Star break is kind of going through a little bit of a rough patch, and it tends to happen after you kind of get away. The team isn't quite clicking as it was early in the season. I've seen a lot of people sitting there saying, I think Edgecombe and Maxey, kind of hit the wall because they're carrying the load of Joel Embiid and Paul George and things of that nature. So one of the questions I'm going to ask you, should fans expect another spring meltdown from the Sixers, or is this just a different team and we can't attach them to the prior failures of this team?
I want to believe the second part you just said, Steve, that we can believe in like that this team is going to make a run and stuff. My heart tells me actually, my brain tells me that they're going to actually make a run. My brain really tells me because the East is so kind of like not that powerful, like not as deep as the West, right? Like if they can just, like come on, like the Knicks and like the Celtics, like to some, I mean, I know we have. I think
the only real team that I worry about is the Pacers.
Okay.
I think everyone underestimates the Cleveland Cavaliers. I really do.
Yeah. Sure, they're all really good teams.
The Knicks are still, drinking that tea from last season.
Yeah,
and I think Boston is they're waiting for Tatum to get back, and it's like they're missing their Superman for some reason.
Yeah,
I think those are kind of the team. But I agree. I think the East is very winnable with what you already have in front of you. So
yeah,
you should expect some type of run, whether it be an Eastern Conference appearance, an Eastern Conference victory, however you have it. But if you're going to say like this is what is most likely going to happen, right? What is it? Do they lose in the first round? Do they miss the playoffs again? Do the Sixers win 50-plus games? Do they reach an NBA final? What do you think is the most realistic thing out of those four things that I mentioned to happen?
Well, the most realistic would be, I don't know if it's, I can't see it's, I don't think it's an option there, would be if they get bounced in the second round, I think.
No,
Because I just
it
see.
was only first round. It was
Okay,
it was
well,
NBA
then I
final,
won't go with that because this team is too
playoff
talented.
miss, first
Yeah.
round exit, and 50-plus wins were the four options.
How many wins are they at right now?
I didn't look prior to
Okay.
coming on tonight. I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be really honest
Yeah.
about that. But it's also because I don't like. It's
All
not
right,
like
I'm gonna
I'm
go.
not invested because obviously we both are. We've both been the games this season. You know,
Yeah.
we're always invested with basketball. But it's
Yeah.
like, I guess maybe it's the Negadelphian in us. We're waiting for the shoe to drop, so to speak.
Yeah, right. It's kind of similar with the Phillies. I feel, similar things, because of recent history with each team. But I tell you what, I'm going to go with your little chart you just put up there. I'm going to go with they reached the NBA Finals because what we just talked about, the East is so weak that like this is their year. If they're all healthy, knock on wood, if they're all healthy in the playoffs, like this is it.
Here's
Like,
the thing. All right, we just thoroughly thumped a Minnesota Timberwolves team that was in the Western Conference Finals last year, right?
Correct.
And we also did that without a Joel Embiid, correct? Okay. So while we're looking at that, you have to say they have the players. Maybe maybe they're going to miss trading to Jared McCain at some point in time in the playoffs, and I think that part might be true. I think they will miss him at some point in time.
Correct. Yeah.
But I also think that they have enough leadership, enough guys that can steal minutes and steal points from teams that it shouldn't matter that you don't have McCain on the team where he was probably only getting 8 minutes a game, if that. That's that's nothing.
Correct. But if you want to make an NBA Finals run, you need a really good elite Paul George when he comes back too. Like you can't just you need everybody.
All right, because we still don't know exactly what he tested positive for, right? So let's go with the saying that it was a mental health thing. Him being away from the team for what equates to a little bit more than a month and a half, almost 2 months, I think gives him that time to kind of mentally reset. And you're not putting a whole lot of miles on it. So you're going to have a super fresh Paul George or what should be a super fresh Paul George coming into the playoffs. That's not a bad thing to have, especially when you're also taking games and minutes away from Joel Embiid to make sure his knees don't overheat and he winds up broken down on the side of the road. So doing that, obviously as we're approaching March, we'll see what happens over the next 29 games, 28 games or so. So I like the position that they're in. They don't have to be a top seed. If they're a 3, 4, 5 seed, whatever the case may be, that's fine. No. They're in the dance.
Seeding is as a general statement. I think seeding is way more important than like the NFL than NBA, just in general. Yeah. But you're right. You don't want to be the 8 seed or 7 seed or anything, but if you're in that 2 to 5 to 6 range, I mean, it ain't the end of the world. So we don't need or 3 to 6 range. It's fine.
So I also came across this, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this one too, my friend. So we've been talking about VJ Edgecombe already this season, right? We've been talking about him a whole lot, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you realize he is 53 pointers away from tying Steph Curry's rookie record for 3-pointers made in the season?
Well, that's unbelievable because I don't really think of VJ Edgecombe as a 3-point shooter. Like
exactly.
I don't think he's an explosive attack the rim type of guy.
That being said, brother, is it safe to say that he could very well be the season's offensive rookie of the year?
I think he should. I think he should very well be in very top consideration for that. Yes, I do. I just to answer it straightforward, I definitely think he should. I mean, he's special. He's having an impact. He has a highlight reel already. I went to the one game against the Pacers. I posted it to my page. Y'all should check it out. He did a dunk that was literally dunk contest worthy. Like he was posterized. This guy. I mean, guy's special, man. And I think he should be in consideration. The only question is I'd have to see who are the other guys, because if you say another name that's a rookie for offensive, then I go, oh wow, well he's having a monster year. Then I have to be fair, but if a name doesn't stand out to me, then I mean, how can you not consider VJ for offensive rookie of the year?
But that's the thing, right? Can you name somebody else that's having an amazing? Maybe it's just because we're colorblind, so to speak, because we're here in Philadelphia and we don't want to even look at another potential option. But can you tell me another rookie that's playing on this level right now?
Well, that's why I was if a viewer wants to write one, or if you can think of one. I mean, I can't really think of one off the top. Every there's a lot of second year guys that are going off this year, but they're not rookies. So it's like, I guess I can't really think of one unless someone brings me some stats, goes a little scientific on me. I think VJ Edgecombe, no bias, honestly, would be my pick for offensive rookie of the year now.
We would have to go and look and see what that kid Flag is doing down there.
Oh
down
shit!
Yeah, Dallas, right?
Oh crap! Yeah,
I said Flag. I said Flag.
Yeah. I know he might. All right, he might give VJ a run for his money, but other than those two, I can't really think of anybody else.
Yeah, there's no one that kind of rolls off the tongue that's kind of making the impact. Obviously, we talked about it. The rookies all-star game. He's one of 3 former Sixers now that has won the MVP of that game. Andre Iguodala, Allen Iverson, and VJ Edgecombe all has won the MVP in that NBA All-Star Futures game or whatever you want to call that. He's won the MVP in it, and he's one of 3 Sixers to do it. So I think he's on the trajectory. Winning that trophy kind of puts him, I think, a little bit above anyone else that might have something to say. If he gets them in the playoffs and at least helps them to an Eastern Conference final berth, regardless if they win it or not, I think it almost guarantees him the Rookie of the Year award. But, we're from Philadelphia. We shouldn't expect anything. I mean, hell, we thought Quinyon Mitchell was a dead lock for it a few years ago, and it just didn't happen that way. And I just think it's just because he didn't have the interceptions. He just didn't have them. So.
Yeah, and then he got two in the one game this year. Remember?
Yeah.
He exploded. He's like, damn it. He's like, damn, I'm gonna get one of these days. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna get 2 just to make up for it. So.
All right. So moving from basketball to I don't know if you've seen this, and I want to get your thoughts on it because the Olympics were big this week, and there is some Philadelphia connections that were going on. I don't know if people have really seen this, but our good old friend Mr. Jason Kelsey decided to do some work with the bobsled team and take it down, and he kind of gave his thoughts on it. Like, if you wonder what it feels like to be in a bobsled, these are my internal thoughts going down the track. He basically just thought it was going to be like a fun roller coaster, and he's like, yeah, I was wrong. It started out quiet and smooth, and it continued to kind of pick up speed. The intensity got higher and higher. The turns, the bobsled shoulders, head bouncing around like he's on a football field. The noise the sled got louder and louder and louder, rattling, and he felt like the whole thing was falling apart. By the time they hit turn 8, they were going about 84 miles an hour. By then, his 280-pound body was being manipulated by 5 Gs. It felt like 1,400 pounds was pushing me into the bottom of the sled, and its metal rails I was sitting on, bruising my hips. At that point, it was so loud I could no longer hear my own screams, which is not sure I was even producing because the air had been squeezed out of my body. Just as I wondered how much more I could take, I heard the relieving sound of the brakes. So, hearing that from Jason Kelsey, if there is an Olympic event that you would want to do, what would it be?
Well, winter or summer or either
winter.
one?
I said winter Olympic event. What would it be?
Oh, easy. Because I believe we're all experts already at it because it looks easy as hell. Curling. Got to go curling.
It takes no athletic ability whatsoever.
What are they doing? Nobody can tell me otherwise. Oh no, it does take skill, Justin. They're just sweeping. They're just brushing the floor. Like, you know it, I know it, y'all know it. Don't lie to yourself. They're that's all they practice.
So I guess Lindsey Vonn put it out for you there's no way trying downhill skiing ever.
Oh gosh, yeah. She's prayers up for her. She is that was terrible. But yeah, skiing out. I can't ski anyway, believe it or not. So Even though it is fun, it looks very fun. I'm gonna pass on that. Hey, I'll tell
So
you what though.
no snowboarding, nothing. You're not gonna do anything with the snow.
So all right, all right, that's a great question because like in a pipe dream, like would I want to be like a snowboarder at the Olympic? Like, yeah, dude, that'd be sick, right? Like that'd be so much fun. But like I don't know how to snowboard or ski. So like realistically, I would say curling. In a dream world, I guess I would say probably some like Shaun White type of stuff, like some snowboarding. Yeah. So,
All right, all right.
but
Now
hey,
we
shout
got
out to USA Hockey. Shout out USA Hockey.
yeah. Shout out USA Hockey. It is only the third time we won a gold medal, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen this. Hold on, I forgot to load it into the back end, but I think I have it in my phone anyways, right? That's not the one. There's a guy that's on the team, and he is now one of there it is. Brock Nelson. His grandfather won gold in 60. His uncle won gold in 80. And now he's won gold in 2028. There's family legacy right there, right?
Wow.
Brock Nelson, and he was one of the hockey players that brought his son onto the ice. So the one that I pulled up, the guy was like, does Brock Nelson's son know that he now has to win Olympic gold in 2046?
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure for that little baby.
Listen, at that point would be your great grandpa, your uncle, and your dad all win Olympic gold medals. It's all I gotta say, it's in the genes at least. So even if he doesn't be a hockey player, at least the athletic gene is in your bloodline. So
yeah, they just come out the womb and you put a little medal around their neck.
So let's get into some of the football stuff. But I want to get into a couple little fun things. Did you see the Jalen Hurts shoe dropped?
The Jalen Hurts shoe? No. Hurts. Yeah. Okay. Not bad, I guess. Not bad.
I mean, obviously, like, listen, we're always going to compare everything to the Jordans, right? That's what our generation is going to do. Yeah. It's still not a bad shoe. It's not a paid shoe. I don't know if I'm going to be standing out in the cold and rain waiting for the next Jalen Hurts to drop or anything like that. I mean, I'm not going to spend $200 on grabbing a pair or anything like that. But if I get a chance to grab a pair, I definitely might look into that.
Yeah.
Where are you ranking the Hurts shoe along the shoepocalypse that we have going on in the sporting world?
I mean, it's not well in general. Let me start with this, Steve. I feel like shoes are always for like NBA. Like if you go get player shoes, it's like I got the new Kobe 11s or like the Jordan 5. You know what I mean? Like or like the LeBron 12. Like those are when you actually hear the names with the shoe, right? But like in NFL terms, like you don't. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But like I don't really see a lot of people going out and getting like the Mahomes 7s and the Jalen Hurts 6. Still the retro.
Michael Vick was probably the only one that you really heard those conversations with. But like I agree with the football players because it's different. It's different,
right? It is. So, it's just way different. It's more emphasis visually.
But I don't
on
think it should be that way. I really don't.
It shouldn't be, yeah. But I think it's kind of cool that like Jalen Hurts has his own shoe. The actual shoe itself, I think it's pretty nice. It's not. Like I said, it's not a Jordan or anything like that. The shoe visually to me,
I'm not a big Gray fan, so that was
I was gonna say maybe if you have a,
give me some Eagles colors. Maybe we can start having a conversation.
No, the sole of the under on the bottom, whatever.
Yeah, the sole looks nice. I will say that, but how does that sole hold up on some wear and tear? What happens when they get wet? Like there's a lot of things that go into why people like some of these shoes.
Yeah, shit. Put a signature engraved in it, or make it look on the gray or something. Make it look cool.
Instead of just printing his name out like that, that would have been cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but maybe there's other colors. Not bad though. Not the worst shoe I've ever seen. But
yeah, I mean, obviously we've seen worse. We absolutely have seen worse. I'm not naming no names. I'm not throwing any players onto the bus or anything, but we've seen some some funky, fugly looking shoes that have been produced out there.
Yeah. I wonder if Saquon has his own shoe because he's a guy that should.
I'm glad you mentioned Mr. Barkley because I gotta get his comments out there because apparently he is very excited for what Sean Mannion and this offense is going to like. You know, his words, super excited. I don't think I've ever come across a system like this. It's refreshing. So, with that being said, you hear that Saquon's on board to that effect. Do we then turn around and sit there and say that we shouldn't worry about AJ Brown potentially having any issues this coming season?
Well, that's like saying water's not wet or the sky's not blue. I mean, we're gonna have
AJ Brown in a minute. I promise we will get there.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's not. We'll not start the rant now.
Saquon's comments, does that make you feel a lot better of what this offense is going to look like, being what we've seen from some of the players over the last few years?
Yes, because if you're of the major conspiracy belief, like i.e. AJ Brown, that you believe that a lot of the complaints of the offense were about Patullo and how bad it looked because of that and all that, then you get this bright. And I know it's just off-season comments in February, but if that's truly how Saquon feels, and he's a passionate guy, you see him speak, he does interviews and stuff, and he tells it how it is. If he really believes that, then that's great news because you need everybody on board. You need the fresh start. They should be scarred, like have PTSD from that 49ers game for life. So, no, really, I mean, how do you like? We can win the Super Bowl this coming year, and it will never take away history that the year after they won that 2025 Super Bowl, they totally collapsed and choked in that. You know, it should really hurt them. Like they should really, they got to refresh, they got to regroup, and I really hope that Mannion is the answer. I really do.
I already said I think I liked it. I like the guys that he brought in. It sucks that Jeff Stoutland and them couldn't come to an understanding on what they needed to do moving forward. So, the fact that it is officially been announced that both Landon Dickerson and Lane Johnson will return next season, I don't think we should worry in the first two rounds about having a high draft pick for our offensive line. I don't think we should ignore if some type of talent falls to us. I don't think we should ignore it, but I don't think it should be the top priority now. We know that they'll be back for next season, regardless on what capacity that is. That's for the coaches and all that to decide. As a fan, as a content creator, and things of that nature, I don't think I put it at the top of the list. I mean, it definitely should be someone you're looking at. Put maybe in that second round, maybe in that third round, the guy that you've had your eye on, something like that. Like I said, they got 4 in the first top 100 picks. They can those guys have to make a difference on this team this season, not a project guy or anything like that this season.
Yes. So let me ask you a question, not even including Max Crosby, but obviously he could be there. Anybody, do you think Howie's going to use any of those picks in the first 100 that you just mentioned? Trade straight up for a player.
I always think that a trade is always on the board for Howie Roseman just because that's how he does it. I still think it's still not out of the question that he moves up to go get a guy because you have that, and then you also have the comp picks and everything like that. So you have multiple picks in those mid rounds that you could use an additional third, and your first to kind of move up. Instead of drafting at 23, they can wind up being drafting at 12.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's one of those things that you can't put anything out of the question of being able to happen. We already know from last year they were trying to move up to draft Jahad Campbell. So we already know that and just got lucky that he just continued to fall right into our lap. So it's going to be interesting. To see what happens this offseason. And as we're talking about that, I don't know if you've seen some of the nonsense that was going around, but people are already talking about it, right? Is that, somebody had asked CJ Gardner-Johnson about returning to Philadelphia, and his simple response was, hell yeah. Asked if he would come back to Philadelphia, just tell them boys to get back with me, right?
Get back with me.
I mean, I don't know if a third trip to Philadelphia is in the books. I don't think it's something that the Eagles would look to. If it does happen, I don't think it would happen until after the draft. Maybe somebody they were looking to get they couldn't get, and do something like bring him back on a 1-year deal or whatever it is. But I don't know if they're going to sign him to a multi-year contract, which I believe he's going to be looking for. And the fact that the Bears don't bring him back I think some of the positive things that he brought to that defense should be another thing that, fans open their ears up and like, hey, he helped get them guys into a deep playoff run, and it still wasn't enough for them to retain him and bring him back. So.
Well, hey, Steve, the Bears aren't even bringing their own city back. They're moving to freaking Gary, Indiana.
They're not the only one. You got to remember, the Kansas City Chiefs are moving to Kansas.
Well, that makes me think of a question, Steve. What if the Eagles ever moved across the bridge to like Camden, New Jersey or something?
I would never go to a game.
Wow.
I already call the New York teams the New Jersey teams because they play in New Jersey.
Right.
It's the New Jersey Jets. It's the New Jersey Giants. Play in the city of New York. There's only one team that plays in the state of New York, and that is Buffalo. So, yes, I would not go to a game because it would no longer be the Philadelphia Eagles. It would be the New Jersey Eagles. I have no interest in going over yet another bridge to go watch the Eagles play football. Yeah, no.
Yeah. And by the way, why I think about that better not be what Mr. Lurdy is thinking about doing with like the changes to the stadium, because it's either going to be
go buy Franklin Mills. Go buy Franklin Mills. There's enough room to put a stadium in there, parking lots galore. It's right next to the highway, just like how it is in South Philadelphia. If you're going to move anywhere outside of that complex, because I already heard rumors that they've bought up some of the adjacent, industrial buildings around Lincoln Financial Field, it'd be nice to just rent it out to Lincoln Financial Field to the Temple Owls and whoever else for big outdoor events, concerts, and whatever, and just kind of move down the street a little bit and build another stadium. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Yeah. I think it's something they should entertain. It's going to make that area a whole lot more congested and crazy. But, I mean, that's for the city to kind of figure out a good plan for that.
Now, would you want the Sixers and Flyers going down to Franklin Mills too, or you want them like staying where they're? Like, how would you want? Like,
well, I don't know how you put two stadiums there. I don't know how you would put two stadiums there.
Yeah.
I think if I'm Franklin Mills, that's who I'm trying to pitch to. I'm trying to pitch to the Sixers, Flyers, or the Eagles if they want a new stadium here. Like, listen, we'll not renew any of the leases of any of these buildings and just kind of let you guys buy this whole area out. I think it would be a great idea. It's just my opinion. I don't know if I'm just biased because it'd be like in my backyard. I could go tailgate with all my Philadelphia sports cronies, so to speak. So
yeah. I guess so. Yeah. Well, no wonder you're on board for it. It's closer commute for you. So, yeah, can't blame you.
I wouldn't have to get on a highway. I wouldn't have to do anything. It'd be great.
Right. Can you imagine walking to an Eagles game, just like you're just enjoying breakfast, like just walk out the door, just walk to the game? That'd be pretty nice.
I don't think they would be going anywhere anytime soon because they just sold the rights to the practice field, as we were just talking about on your show last week. So I don't think that they're trying to leave the area. I really don't, because then you would have to go come up with another practice facility, and I don't think they want to really go and do that. So
yeah, they already changed the name on the one they already have. So
that's what I'm saying. Like if you're doing that, I don't think you're leaving the area. So I think it's just a pipe dream for me, but it's nice to talk about.
The only thing that if they're gonna, obviously, Eagles football is gonna be where it's at next year, and we're all having all the sports stay where they're at. So like they got to fix the traffic situation. You got to fix that somehow. I don't know how, but
you have too much going on in that area. There's nothing you can do to fix it unless you're helping the city buy an additional off ramp that's going right into your freaking parking facility. That's the only way to do it, and I don't think anyone has an engineer in their back pocket that's going to make that happen. So,
big Dom, call up an engineer.
Like when we went down for the basketball game, they had the off ramp blocked off where you have to go back around the other side. I'm like, makes no sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's a highly congested area. That is the price of having everything so closely tight together. So good in some senses, bad in some others, but plenty of things to argue about. So speaking of arguing, we after the Super Bowl, everyone thought the nonsense with AJ Brown would stop, and it didn't. We don't, let's be clear. We've seen a lot of stuff going around because AJ Brown had followed some of the Giants players that all of a sudden he was going to New York. They brought up a photo from before he was even a professional player, him wearing a Giant. Oh, he's coming to New York. The trade's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that he did Julian Edelman's podcast.
Yeah.
And he's always been a New England Patriots fan. He's always has been. And then everyone's making more than needs to be done about the whole wink situation, right? Right? And
yeah, I know you're talking about.
Take any context in the listening to the podcast where he flat out said that he didn't really care for Mike Vrabel as a head coach. Okay? Mm-hmm. So at this point in time, we have a WIP sports media problem, not an AJ Brown problem. Yes or no?
Yes, I guess if you have to pick one, because it's more sensationalized, the stories with AJ Brown, than I believe it really is AJ Brown. So I think, yes, if you're going to make me pick one or the two, it's more so because, look, Kevin Patullo gets his house egged because this is Philadelphia. This is a strong media market, okay? This is the pressure of playing in Philadelphia. You know what I mean, man? It's like this is Negadelphia, like we mentioned earlier in the show. So
Negadelphians.
Yeah. So when you think of it like that, I mean, I really think we have an AJ Brown problem too. But I think if you really have to pick, I think it's a WIP problem, because is it an AJ Brown problem, or is it just like he does stuff that's obviously not, a little foolish, but like we blow it way out of proportion with the media? Like he says a tweet and then we have to talk a day and a half on the afternoon show about it or something.
Day and a half? You're taking it light, man. We're talking about this stuff for damn near 6 months now.
Yeah, right. And they're always like.
I will say this: I don't think we necessarily have an AJ Brown problem. I think as still being a young man, he has a harder way of kind of conveying some of the stuff he wants to. So he goes about it some of these ways that may not be the greatest look at times, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's coming from a negative place either. So, and we also have to talk about, he's had trust issues in his past, though. He has a hard time trusting this person or trusting that, or just trusting the process of how things are supposed to go. As it's not like we're talking about a 10-year veteran guy or 12-year veteran guy that's been in, he knows how everything. No, he's still learning the stuff as he goes along. He already seen a front office basically give up on him just because he wanted his contract extension as he was coming towards the end of his rookie deal. So, I mean, I would have trust issues too. Yeah. And let's not forget about the thing that no one wants to talk about is the mental health awareness that he is, he's talked about a lot throughout his career. So, I think I wouldn't specifically say WIP because I don't think that's fair to some of the guys that are there that are pro AJ Brown. I say there is a sports media problem when it comes to covering AJ Brown.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, and I guess I wish that would be the better word it's used.
Because let's be fair. It's not fair to the guys that are on air and that are clearly said, I've been in this guy's corner since Jump Street. It's not fair to them.
Yeah.
Well, I say there's a lot more BS headlines that coming out of it because of some of their on-air talent. Yes, I do agree with that part of it, but they're not the only ones. We see that's our general news sports media station that a lot of us tend to listen to. So they're the one that's going to be, for all lack intensive of persons, catching strays that maybe they don't necessarily have to be catching all of them, but they are.
Correct.
So. Yeah. I just want to clear that one out, just so I'm not trying to dump on WIP, because there are guys, but I know they did some ridiculous poll, and there was about two of the guys that were there that said they wanted him back, and almost the good majority of them wanted to identify with some type of trade to get him out of town. So we have our pros, we have our cons, but I don't think we have an AJ Brown problem. I think we have a sports media problem when it comes to covering him. And since we're talking about trades, another ridiculous thing came out. Right, this is right at the end of January was when this post was made, but something we're going to have to entertain over the next few years as we get to it. We still have control of his contract with 2 years left when it comes to Jalen Carter. And the reason why we bring this up is because he was probably going to be the backbone of a trade that was going to send Micah Parsons to Philadelphia that the Eagles just didn't want to entertain. And I don't blame them. But would you – now you were just talking about the aforementioned Max Crosby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you package him into some type of trade since we know that AJ Brown more than likely is going to want to stay here next year, right?
Yeah.
And there's going to be trade talks with Max Crosby, right? You're going to have to also not just do that, but you're going to have to extend Jordan Davis to try to save on some cap. So you're going to have to try to find a way to get him extended, right?
Yeah.
So would because we have the leverage right now when it comes to Jalen Carter. Would you entertain a trade now, or would you try to negotiate now and more than likely overpay for him? He has conditioning issues. He's had injury issues that been lingering. What do you think the Eagles' outlook on the future of Jalen Carter looks like moving forward? Because this guy actually laid out some pretty good stuff. I don't know if you're able to read all of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to read as much. Zoom in.
I'll pull it back up so I'll read it out to you. Right, not advocating for trade Jalen Carter, but you can make a strong case with 2 years left the team controlling his contract, likely fetch 2 first-round picks, a star player, and a pick in return. 2, his trade leverage will diminish once he gets a new contract. So basically, if you trade him now, it's more likely that a team will get him because he hasn't been extended. 3, the Eagles will have very little negotiation power in extension and will likely get overpaid. I agree with 3. He will likely get overpaid. 4, his condition, injury, lingering issues when he's out of shape, hurt, barely net positive impact, still draws doubles, but also has reps where he's a statue. Don't disagree with that. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. He still only scratched the surface of knowing how to play defensive tackle in this league. So let's be clear about that. 5, trade him would create a significant future cap room to get back in free agency, the free agent market, extend many other players. Just a thought exercise. What do you think?
Well, all right. First things first. It's not directly to this. I only wanted Max Crosby to the Eagles if he could pair him with Jalen Carter. Okay, so I'll start with that. But Jalen Carter, I believe he's had his issues. All the things we laid out. But he's elite of elite, and like you said, he's young. He's just scratching the surface. And I'm sorry, unless you are getting super equal value in return, I'm not entertaining a trade of Jalen Carter. That's just me. And I know you're probably gonna have to overpay him, I guess, to market standards or whatever. But look, man, Jalen Carter, the bread man, the baby rhino, man, he is still, he's elite, man. When he, I know, and it's the inconsistency that he brought up and all that, but I believe that if he, gets this contract and gets paid here this offseason, I think he's going to prove he's worth it, for us because he is. He like you said, and like that viewer just said, he gets a lot of double teams. He's always, the double teams should not be taken lightly because you see that happen a lot. But I'm not trading Jalen Carter, Steve. Not unless okay.
I'm not even, regardless of the possibility of overpaying for him. Unless you're getting you're getting a Max Crosby, which you're going to get him at a max contract, right?
Yeah.
You still have to make other moves so you can do other things too. So unless you're doing it and you're swapping first and you're ended up with the number 1 overall pick and you can go do whatever you want to do there. I mean, I don't see Oakland pulling a trigger on that. And even if you give them Jalen Carter, you give them your first to move back to have the first pick in the second round, like none of that makes any sense. And I get people are frustrated with the conditioning side of things and the inconsistency, right? This kind of sounds really familiar to another Georgia. Oh yeah, this is what everyone talked about Jordan Davis the last few years. No. So how did he look this year again? Oh, he looked like an all-pro, right? Okay, so who's to sit there and say that, like, and we're talking about, Jordan Davis in year 5. This is only 3 years of – we're about to go in year 3, right? Am I miscalculating?
For Jalen Carter?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a year 3, maybe year 4. No, it's not more than – I think it's year 3.
Yeah, so, like, all right, we're talking about a guy that's in his 3rd year. Jordan Davis is a similar type of difference maker. Obviously, Jalen Carter's way better getting after quarterback. Let's be clear. But I don't think they're so far apart that, you can't sit there and look at a guy after 3 years and basically just give up on him to potentially bring in a guy that's going to be getting paid double what you're going to pay him.
Yeah.
Or what you could potentially pay him in the next few years. I don't think you should even consider an extension right now, considering that you're so tight against the cap for other reasons.
Yeah.
You have to wait for at least another year before AJ Brown's number goes from the 40-some millions to down into the teens, where it's a normal level and you can put money into other places.
Yeah.
I would if I would have to say if anyone would be trade bait, it'd be someone on the offensive line. It'd be someone like a Landon Dickerson, like a Cam Jurgens, something to that effect. I don't think it would be a Jalen Carter. Just my honest opinion. If we're talking potential trades of guys that are currently on the team, I would have to say watch out for Zach Bond though, because you signed him to a big contract. Kind of was, obviously he, was getting picks, was getting at the ball, but he wasn't making those difference-making plays that he made in 2024. And you have a situation where you have a Jahad Campbell. You can bring back a Nakobe Dean at a team-friendly deal because he's been injured multiple times over the last few years. Obviously, the availability thing is definitely an issue, but you could free up money other ways to kind of make moves. And I would have to say, like, someone on the offensive line, Zach Bond, they would probably be the targets to kind of free up extra cap space.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. You got to watch out because
listen, I love Zach. Don't get me wrong, but like it's a business at the end of the day, man. They can go and find another guy to plug in there, especially because you only run a 2 linebacker system.
Right. Yeah. I mean, plus with we have a lot of we actually for once kind of have depth at that position. We're usually very weak at that position. So with Dean and Campbell and even Trotter Jr. I mean, hey, not terrible, right? So.
Oh, and you got to remember that Trot's actually been on the field. He obviously hasn't had a large amount of snaps or anything like that, but he's been on the field. So don't count Trot out to potentially slide into that role. And if not release, go and trade somebody like a Zach Bond to somewhere else to kind of bring other talent in there.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, then, geez, the more I actually just think about it in my own head, you almost could get rid of Bond with probably minimal headache to some extent. No, I hate to say it like that. I love Zach Bond. He's an elite player.
I do. And I think he's an absolute leader on this team and he's a guy that everyone loves in that locker room. And it kills me to even mention it, but like that frees up almost $10 million in cap space.
Yeah, and it is, folks, a business at the end of the day.
Again, exactly. We're in business season right now. We're not in loyalty season. Loyalty season is is during the season when guys get extensions and things of that nature. So we'll see what happens, man. But it would hurt losing Zach because he's an integral part of that defense. If you really ask me.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And getting into our next one, or technically would be our last one before we get ready to close this out, since we're already almost an hour went by. Look at that. But as we were talking about being thin at positions and legacies of this, that, and the third, the tight end succession plan in Philadelphia has been almost foolproof through the years, through the Andy Reid era, all the way till now. We haven't really had bad tight end play in a very, very long time.
LJ Smith, what a blast from the past.
We went from Chad Lewis, and remember he had that Liz Frank injury after the 2004 reception in the back of the end zone, right? And moved right in seamlessly to LJ Smith. LJ Smith played for a few more years, I think, until 2007. And then Brent Selleck came in. Brent Selleck basically ruled the tight end position with an iron fist for the better part of 10 years. Then you had a period of time where we had Selleck and Ertz at the tight end position, and it was a really great combination. We had a few years overlap with Ertz and Goddard as Goddard was learning the position, but had a very good year last year, obviously, and being the fact that he is one of these positions that could potentially be a cap casualty. Does the Dallas Goedert project continue on this year? Being the fact you just heard that Atlanta's going to franchise tag Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is not coming to Philadelphia. That's not going to be an option.
Yeah, right? I was going to say, yeah.
Not a free agent plan. Would you draft the guy and potentially try to keep Dallas there under a 1 or 2 year deal? Like, if you're Howie Roseman right now, how do you go about getting more production and better play out of your tight end position right now? Does Dallas got it included in those plans?
Maybe I'm a little biased because I like Dallas Goedert. I had a chance to meet him a couple times and stuff. So I really do want to keep Dallas Goedert. And look, he's had like a career year this past year, did he not? Like, yeah. So okay. So I mean,
he did an Eagles tight end record for most touchdown receptions in the season. We talked about it right here on this program, brother.
Yes. Yeah. Well, exactly. I remember that. And so yeah, I mean, Howie, can you come up with a 1 year deal for Goddard or 2 year deal or something, and then draft the tight end maybe 4th round, 3rd round, 5th round? I don't know. Something like that. I'm okay with that. I know you're a little woozy on Grant Calcaterra, but he has his moments. I think he's all right. A little.
Yeah. He can't block.
Well, yeah, you can't. Yeah, you.
And Dallas isn't the greatest blocker either. So you have 2 tight ends who can't block.
Well, this is maybe that drafting of a tight end isn't really the 5th round or 4th round. It's more the 2nd or the 3rd, or because
I think it should. I already told you. I think if I'm Howie Roseman, I'm using either that 1st round pick for a corner that slides like we did with Quinyon Mitchell, and get somebody to pair with that, having 3 top flight corners there. In a very heavy passing league and a very heavy passing conference in the NFC, I think would do wonders. Yeah, and I think with your 2nd round pick, you find yourself another tight end.
Yeah,
it's another way where you don't overspend on tight end and maybe find somebody in free agency that is coming up. The kid from Baltimore, likely he's going to be a free agent. I think that would be a great fit if he does hit the free agent market and Baltimore doesn't retain him. Yes. I think that would be a great option too. And don't have enough knowledge of his pass blocking, but he can definitely catch the ball and make a difference in the red zone.
Yeah.
And I think it would be an upgrade over Grant.
Well, look, tight end will be addressed some way or another because we're going to have to figure out what we're doing with Goddard, whether we draft one, what we're doing with. I mean, it's going to be addressed here shortly. So, I love that idea of a cornerback and then tight end. If that, especially because Lane Johnson and Landon Dickerson came back, because they came back, I think if you go cornerback, tight end, that's a beautiful draft in my opinion. But we'll see.
We will see. We will see. All right. Last minute, but I actually wanted to get one more. I did miss this earlier, and I didn't even notice until I got to the end of it. But going back to basketball real fast, right?
Yeah.
You're we're Sixers fans, and we're gonna say these two super Sixers team in a best of 7 series is who's winning. The blue team is going to be Tyrese Maxey, Andrew Toney, Andre Iguodala, Charles Barkley, and Wilt Chamberlain at center. The red team would be Maurice Cheeks, Allen Iverson, your boy Dr. J, Bobby Jones, and Joel Embiid. I know this ain't going to be easy one for you, brother. So, is the blue team going to be winning it with Barkley, Chamberlain, and Maxey, or does Allen Iverson, Dr. J, and Joel Embiid's red team win the best of 7 series here?
Well, I actually, to much of your shock, Steve, I don't think the red team actually beats the blue team. I think they sweep them. I have the red team sweeping the blue team. I think that's how that would go. So how's that?
Wow.
Hot take for you.
Dr. J and Joel Embiid couldn't even sniff a win. So I guess that means you got a massive amount of love for Wilt Chamberlain and Charles Barkley then.
No. You have it backwards. I'm saying the red team.
Oh, so the red team.
Yeah. The red team sweeping the blue team. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I think now look, I think you got Barkley in the Bobby Jones matchup. You got and you might have Maxey in the Maurice Cheeks matchup, but then I think every other matchup, Will Chamberlain.
I think Will Chamberlain breaks Joel down on another level. Let's take the 100-point game out of it. All right.
Yeah.
He averaged damn near 20 rebounds and 10 plus blocks a game for the better part of 10 years.
Yeah.
So AI ain't driving it in on him, right? Dr. J ain't driving in on him. So who's gonna go get points in the paint? I think this would go all 7, and I would go blue. That's just me.
I'm going to go red, Steve. I'll go red. But here's the thing. That red team, Joel Embiid could shoot the 3. Dr. J could shoot a mid-ranger. AI could cross you up out of the perimeter. I mean, we don't have to drive to the paint. But
points in the paint would wind up winning the games 9 times out of 10, brother.
I got to put you know what? I'm going to go to like AI or ChatGPT or something, or like I'm literally going to put this into like a system and see what comes out. Because now you got me thinking. So
the main thing is, I think, like the shooting guard position, like AI's got Andrew Toney. Andrew Toney is a guy that just never, injury ended everything. Andre Iguodala is probably one of the better 6-mans in the league. See, he's about to go do it right now. He's about to go put it in ChatGPT.
No, I'm right here. Can you see me, Steve? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. You went black for a
second. Okay. I
thought you were going to go do it right now.
So what I did is I screenshotted it. So I hope that didn't mess anything up. I just screenshotted it, so I'll post it to my story to see what people say.
Yeah. So
because I'm really genuinely curious.
I think it's an interesting topic to kind of go over for a Sixers fans. And it's not that I don't got love for AI and Dr. J either, man, because I think that's a very dominant thing. I will take Meeksy over Mo Cheeks. And I think the power forward and center positions are an easy win for the blue. But listen, it's hard to kind of go against AI and Dr. J. That's a lethal duo in that midcourt there area. So I guess something we'll rehash again later on down the road as we close this thing out. What's going on with you, brother? You going to New York anytime soon? Doing any more content? Like what's on your agenda as we are in the frozen tundra of Philadelphia at this point in time?
Tomorrow, Men in the Kitchen restaurant in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the meeting of the mayors. The mayor of the Philadelphia, Cheryl Parker, will be there, and a bunch of mayors from Harrisburg, Allentown, a whole bunch of big cities in Pennsylvania. Nothing to do with sports, but Philadelphia, Mayor Philly's going to be there. I've never met her before. Going to be a meeting and doing some event through Justin Brown, JB Sports Ventures down in Harrisburg tomorrow. It's going to be tomorrow at 12 noon, actually, lunchtime, relatively early, so I'll be heading down there, capturing that. March 6th at the Chesapeake Inn, Andrew Makuba and Jihad Campbell are going to be special guests for a fundraiser I really apologize. I think it's called the BJ Armstrong Foundation. I could have totally butchered that. It's something like that. But it's for a good cause. You can buy a ticket. It comes with the 3-course meal. You get pictures with the players. You get the dancing, the music, with the whole 9 yards. So that's March 6th. And like I keep saying at the end of all these episodes, stay tuned, folks, because sometime in March or early April, I have the barbershop experience with Jordan Mailata at the NovaCare Complex. Well, it's not the NovaCare Complex anymore. Whatever. Getting a haircut with them, and it's going to be
The
pretty
Jefferson
fun.
Health Complex.
Yeah, whatever. Just have the barbershop open that day, and it's gonna be a fun time. So, other than that, Steve, just every day's rocking and rolling, and the Philly show's coming up too in March. So, check out the Philly show.
Yeah, there's going to be some good some good stuff on that one as well. We always got fun stuff going on here. So I mean,
Yeah.
This Wednesday, I've actually linked up with this guy, J.R. Rickard. He's a sports agent, and I'm actually getting 2 of his athletes from that are in college right now that he's going to wind up having us interview, and it's going to definitely be a fun time there. I'm looking forward to that one, as we're going to be talking to TJ Ballers is going to be one. He's a defensive tackle out of Cal. His dad was a running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? And then we're also going to be talking to Maurice Pons. He's a defensive back, and he's got good numbers. He's 6'1", 190 pounds, a real 4.40. Could be one of those. Never know. He could be an Eagle. We don't know.
Yeah,
so we're gonna have fun with that Wednesday. Both of those guys are gonna be joining myself and Ben. Big shout out to JR for trusting us with some of his clients. He actually has a couple Phillies under his wing too. So you never know. We might get some more of these guys on here as we move forward. But I really appreciate JR for giving us some time with his athlete. So guys, make sure you're tuning in. 108 Stitches Baseball Talk should be on tonight. Always got a lot of fun stuff going on here in the South Florida Tribune. Might not see me as much, but I'm always going to be continually, doing the interviews, doing the content that we're always doing. But as for today, another episode in the books. I'm Steve. That's Justin. This was the JNS Philadelphia Sports Stop, and we will catch you guys next week. Peace out, my friends.
Peace out, guys.